Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back to Bust a Rime, episode 2. I think we're off to a pretty good start. We've got some food production. I've got a couple of space heaters put in that are helping to keep the temperatures high enough to keep that mealwood going. We need to keep it above 10°C. So we're doing good there. We've got, let's see, 17, 13. So I've got 30 mealwood plants growing. We need 5 per dupe. So we've got enough food production that we could take on another dupe if we want. Let's take a look. I want to be a little bit selective in the dupes we bring on. I don't want to take on just anybody here, because we're going to be living with these guys for a very long time unless we make some horrible mistakes. All right, so before we do that, let's figure out what it is that we want. Okay, so if we look at our priority sheet, I've got a digger, I've got 2 diggers, and I have a builder who can also dig. I've got a researcher, and I have a gopher. So I think what we're going to need soon is a chef, a cook, so we can start to make better food and extract some more calories. We could start doing a meal musher. And turn the mealwood into, what do they call them? Meal bars, or I don't know. Lice loaf. Yeah, lice loaf, I think it's called. That'll give us more calories, which in effect will allow us to handle more dupes with the same number of plants, at the expense of water. We'd have to add some water to it, but it's not a lot. But we won't be able to operate a grill with what we've got now. So I think we'll need a cook. At some point, I would like to have somebody who's trained in the medical arts, at least up to bedside manner, so that we can heal certain illnesses like slime lung and so forth. Although I don't think slime lung is going to be an issue on this map, because it should be cold enough that any slime we do have on the map is probably not going to have any germs left alive on it. Actually, I don't know if we've, oh yeah, see, there's some slime over here. But there's no slime lung anywhere. Well, there's a little bit here. All right, there's a little bit here. But you can see that the number is decreasing because of the temperature. So slime lung shouldn't be an issue. And I'm glad we do have slime, because then we'll be able to grow mushrooms if we want. Yeah, so really the next thing I want is a cook. Marie looks pretty good. Building and operating, diver's lungs, and a yokel. So yokel we can live with. Diver's lungs is great, and building and operating are both good. This one's tidying and building, which would also be good with increased strength. So big carrying capacity bonus there, but can't cook. This one is a little bit, nothing terribly impressive. So either Travaldo or Marie would be good. And if we take Marie, since she's a yokel and not a gastrophobe, we could have her cook until such time as we have somebody who's got special skills in cooking. Or we could just wait. It's a tough call. This is a pretty good dupe, though. I think we should take Marie. Building and operating are both good. And we'll make her... we'll call her Builder Marie. I'm saving my next wrapper name for the cook once we get our cook. Okay. I think improved construction, I think is going to help us more now than operation. We don't have a lot of machine operating to do at the moment, but we certainly have a lot of construction. Okay, so let's set the priorities. Oh, okay, we've got 2 Maries now. So we will line her up with Chuck D in terms of priorities. And we'll give her a plus operating point as well. And let's look at our schedule. Okay, I've got 3 toilets. So I don't want the 2 Maries on the same shift. They might end up just, you know, they might end up arguing with one another. There. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to start to exploit these geysers that we've got. Okay, so we found a hydrogen vent that we can't use right now because it's too hot. It's going to come out at 500 C. We don't have exosuits, and we don't even have the materials that we need to make equipment that can handle those temperatures. The polluted water vent will give us polluted water at 30 C, which we can use to help add some heat to the base. A little bit of heat. No problem with temperatures here. The only issue there is that the polluted water does have food poisoning germs in it. So I won't be able to use it for much more than radiating heat unless we clean it up first. And for that, I would like to find some chlorine. Okay, we've got chlorine here. So we could make a chlorine room, pump polluted water in it to clean the germs out. Of course, we can use it, even with the germs, we could use it to pipe around the base for heat. But eventually we can put it into storage tanks in a room filled with chlorine. It'll kill the germs. And then we can run it through a sieve and turn it into pure water. And then we can use it for anything that we want. And then we have a cool steam vent, which is even better because we get clean water and it's at a much higher temperature. But even 110 degree steam and, 80 or 90 degree water is going to hurt our dupes. So we can't do much with this either until we have some better equipment available. We're going to need exosuits. So polluted water, I think, is the priority. The other issue that I have is that I can't completely dig out the polluted water because I don't have the digging skills yet. But it seems to be already active because once I dug out here, obviously I've already got some polluted water collecting there, so something's coming out of it. So let's figure out a way that we can take advantage of this polluted water event. Now, the first thing I would like to do is to dig out a reservoir for it. Now, this is a vent as opposed to a geyser, so I think it's only 2 tiles high instead of 3 or 4. I don't think I have any other vents on the map, but I think when we dig it out, it's going to be smaller. But in any case, let's... this is in the way of our main ladder path. But fortunately the center ladder, so it'll intrude on our elevator shaft here, but not too much. So what we can do is we can start by building some insulated tiles around it. I don't think I'm going to be able to build that one yet, because I can't dig obsidian. So we'll go up 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go up 4 tiles. And then cut across. I can't dig into abyssalite. And that is obsidian I can't dig either. Okay, so we're going to have to... We can dig out over here, and we'll just create... we'll just create as big a space as we can manage with the skills that we have right now. Okay, so we can dig all this out. And all that out. And then we can dig out, we'll dig out as much as we can underneath it. And then in the meantime, we'll just surround it with insulated tile. I don't think we need to go that far. Let's see, is that going to be high enough? I'm not sure if this will over pressurize when it's covered. But if I build a door, if I put a door up here, I think I should go one, let's go one higher. Alright, and I'm going to unpause. We'll let the dupes get started on this. And then let's move that ladder. No, the ladder was fine. That's where I need to make a correction. Oops. We'll dig out there. We can leave all that. Alright, let's speed things up a bit. And we can dig that out as well. At least some of it. So we'll get this enclosure built. That should be insulated tile as well. We'll get as much of our enclosure built as we can. The obsidian tile I'll probably have to replace later on. And then we'll put a airlock right there. And then we'll need to put in a liquid pump. Place that right there. Liquid pipe inside is fine, and then once we get out, we're going to want it to be insulated. And then once all this is in place, then I'll dig out the vent, because I don't want the water just going everywhere while we're trying to build this thing. And we'll need power. So we'll need a lot of water. I'm not going to connect it just yet. So let's get all that done. We'll get it connected and then we'll decide what to do next. Okay, in terms of my research, I want brute force refinement next. Just kind of a lesson learned from me playing the game for a while. You know, I'm gonna leave this open so I can get in at the bottom too until we're done, and then I'll wall it up. Lesson learned for me is whenever I build pumps, I want to put automation wires on everything. Yeah. So that I can turn things on and off easily. Uh-oh. You can't get out? How did you... Okay, cancel that. Alright. What is the quickest way for me to get you guys out of there? I can't dig that out. Otherwise they won't be able to... Alright, I'm going to have to get all that out. And that's an emergency. Hurry up. Whew. Okay. That's okay. You can leave the rest of it there. Alright. Yeah, so let's get the ladder set up first. Jeez. That was a close one. Okay. So now I'm going to put in refinement. Yeah, so the reason I was talking about automation is because I need to get this rock crusher set up so that I can make a little bit of refined metal. Because I don't have any yet, and I need refined metal for automation wires. Alright. Yeah, Space Heater's doing a good job. And then we'll also be able to make some smart batteries, hopefully soon. Alright, so let's just crank out a few cycles of refined copper. I think I did this off camera, but I put in another composter because one was not enough to handle the 3 toilets, apparently. Alright, and let's start researching smart batteries. So we can save fuel. Speaking of fuel, you know, long term we'll have hydrogen that we can use to generate power from that vent. That'll last us, you know, the whole game. We also have arbor trees, and we can turn the wood into ethanol. Right, here's some acorns. Yeah, here's a tree that's actually growing. A lot of acorns, actually. So we can set up a tree farm, and we can turn the wood into ethanol and burn that for fuel. Okay. Our ladder is complete, so we can build the rest of this now. I'm going to leave that one open until that's done. Okay. And that we're not going to be able to dig yet. How are we doing on skill points? Field research, that'll be good. That way we can analyze it. And the other thing I should do, since this is germy water, let's put a wash basin right there so that anybody returning from this area will have to wash their hands. It would be nice to have some oxygen down here too, but there's not much I can do about that. Or is there? We could put an algae machine down here. Yeah, we'll put an algae machine down here that'll produce some oxygen, and that way they won't have to go all the way back up to catch a breath. I hope. Okay. I've got a bottle of polluted water now, which, believe it or not, I consider to be good because... Oh, and we can also make... Well, we can make oxygen from rust, too. And we can get chlorine from that. the polluted water is good because that's going to allow us to upgrade our bathroom with a recirculating, recycled water supply. And we can start the system with polluted water. Okay, well, it looks like this is all done building. So let's seal this up. Yeah, they'll be able to get out of here by jumping up there and then coming out the door. So let's seal that up. Let's put in our door. Let's fix the plumbing here. It's insulated. And then once this is in place, I'll start digging out the water. At least as much of it as I can. And we're just gonna have to wait until we get super duper hard digging. Okay. So if we do the toilets next, I'm gonna need sanitation for one. I've already got the sieve. And in fact, I've already unlocked the ethanol distiller as well, so we might be able to get into ethanol power sooner rather than later. I don't have a ton of coal, but we should be good for a little while at least. Okay. Yeah, so now we're getting some oxygen down here. I'll rip this out when we're done building all this, but at least this way they don't have to go too far to get a breath of air. Okay. So now let's dig out as much of that as possible. I'm going to deconstruct that tile as well. We can cover that up since we have a door now. And once we get all this running, then we can figure out how to plumb our, I don't know what you would call it, our heating line. It's not a cooling line. There you go. Do you need to wash your hands? No, I guess you didn't touch any germs yet. I think that's nearly all that, yeah, in fact that is all that we can dig out. Alright, I'm going to disable that. Oh. I thought I researched automation wire already. I guess I didn't. Okay, we'll have to do that too. Okay, well, while we're waiting for that, I think we can start to work on our bathrooms. And we're just going to have to wait until we have the digging skills. Okay, so what I want to do for the bathrooms, as I mentioned, is first of all, we're going to put a water processing plant over here. And I'm going to want to tile it, first of all. And I'm going to build an airlock so that we can create a chlorine environment inside here. Okay, so we'll create the airlock first, and then I'll have to vacuum it out. Ooh, you know what? Forget that. I have a better idea. If we do it here, I can create my airlock first and then start digging it out, and then I won't have to make my own vacuum. And that'll make it a lot easier. Okay, so we're going to do that, that, and that. And there. Alright, Alright, so we'll do this part first. And actually I'm going to need to remove that brick temporarily. Alright, so first we get this done. We build our water seal, and then we start to dig out behind it so that we have a vacuum from the very beginning. And to help me achieve that, I'm going to have to build some subfloor. Okay, and I want all this to be contained in my 18 tile width. Okay, so we're going to go out to here, right? That's 18 tiles, yeah. And I'll probably need a second floor, to be honest. If I'm being honest with you. I promise always to be honest with you guys. Okay, so we'll build a subfloor here so that when we dig up this to replace it with tile, it won't expose, we won't lose our vacuum. Okay, then I'm going to put a tile there. And then I am going to put a bottle emptier right there. Actually, I need to remove that tile as well. More duplicates. They're coming in faster than I can really... I don't want another duplicate right now. And none of these are really fantastic, so I'll just take the salt water. Maybe we'll find a use for it later. I would like to have deodorizers so that I can take care of this polluted oxygen I'm getting in here. I don't like that too much. But I guess we can clean it up later on. And since we don't have any slime lung yet, the polluted oxygen doesn't really matter all that much. I think it creates a little bit of stress. Oh, okay, good. So now we're going to put water, enable auto bottle, and I'll set it to a 7 priority. So we're going to start to put some water in here. Once I get this tile full and then another 400 or 500 kilograms above it, then we can complete the seal and start digging in the rest of it. Okay, you guys are doing a fantastic job. I didn't need to go that far. That's the end of the room. We might as well do this part too while we're at it. Dig up some more algae. And let's start building some floor over there. It's always something to do. Alright, what achievements have we achieved so far? Bed and bath. Okay, nothing too outstanding. I've got a few achievements that I haven't completed yet that I'm going to try to go for. Okay, so I can put a switch on that thing now. I think we can also now do a smart battery. Let's go for decontamination next so that I can take care of the polluted oxygen. Right. Yeah, so down here, I'll get rid of that little piece of ladder. And then I'm going to stick on an automation wire, and when the ladder is gone, I'll put a switch there, just so I can turn the pump on and off whenever it pleases me. And then I should have enough for a smart battery now as well. Yes, I have. So let's delete that battery. And put in a more intelligent one. The more intelligent battery will not generate as much heat, which is less than ideal, but it will save us a lot of coal. Okay, what have I got here? Let's do one more bottle. Okay, and then I'll make it sweep only so they don't bring any more. I'm going to have to fix this little issue, Okay, so I'm going to deconstruct that. Let's sweep it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a tile there, which will get rid of the gas that is in that tile. And then I'm going to immediately deconstruct it. There. Okay, we've got some skills to pay the bills. Super hard digging. Improved construction. So, with super hard digging, can I do any of these? No, I need super duper hard digging. We're going to have to keep waiting on that. Okay, so now I build a tile there, and that should complete the seal. Right? We can see there's no gas here, since the tile is occupied by water. There, and there should be enough to spill over. Alright, so I'm going to build a tile there. And then we'll build a tile there. And then some tiles there. Alright, so I should be able to... yeah, let's wait till that tile gets built first, before I dig out that one. Because if I dig out this one first, then when they dig this one, I might lose my seal. Let's build some more storage bins somewhere. I think we can do that. No, I don't want to do it up there. What's a somewhat useless area right now? This area is somewhat useless. Here, we'll build some storage containers there. Yeah, see, I lost my seal. What the heck? I think it destroyed some of the water. So I'm gonna have to put more water in here now. I feel like I'm saving time by doing it this way, rather than putting in a gas pump and waiting forever for it to vacuum everything out. But I gotta tell you, it doesn't feel like it's going that fast. Now I need to add more water. Let's move it along, folks. Okay, so in these, sweep only. We'll take anything and everything except for polluted dirt. Copy settings. Alright, and then I can start sweeping junk out of the rooms. Yeah, including this one. It's not going to take polluted dirt anyway, or polluted water. Okay, I want to get a couple more bottles in there. And then I'll reform my seal. Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do two more, as a matter of fact. Okay, so I should have deodorizers now. We can start working on the poles. The fireman's pole. Okay, let's set our battery. Set that to 90 and 60. Okay, I think that'll be enough water. I'll disable the auto bottling, set it to sweep only, so they don't bring any more water. Put that tile back, and hopefully we'll be all set. Start digging this room out. Okay. So if I've done this well... Okay. Well, we spilled some of the water, but the good news is we've got a perfect vacuum in there. Because at one time there was stuff, and now there's nothing. Okay. Let's start digging it out. All right, and then we can start thinking about how we're going to get the chlorine in. And I think the easiest way will be for us to dig up some bleach stone. And I'll put a storage container in here that'll hold bleach stone, and then we'll just drop it out. And that should give us the chlorine atmosphere. Oh, you know what? I might end up with a little bit of carbon dioxide in here. Will I? Maybe not. Since there's no atmosphere at all, they're holding their breath, so hopefully they won't exhale either. Yeah, just mop it up whenever you guys feel like it. Okay, and then, well, we'll wait and figure out if we need a second floor or not. I'm pretty sure I will, though. Could we please mop that up? Alright, so deodorizer, I can put one here, and I can put one there, and we'll support that with an airflow tile. Okay, so let's start digging over to where that chlorine is, so I can get some bleach stone. That's a consumable ore. Right, so the blue stuff is bleach stone, and I think that is... it's oxalite down there. Yeah, I think this is our closest supply. And since we're doing stuff, let's dig down into there so we get access to that oxalite that's in there. Alright, so what's the easiest way to break over there? We'll start digging down from here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll dig over this way. Ah, yeah, this is perfect. And then I can get a little bit of bleach stone without actually having to crack this open. I can get that, and I can get that. It's not a lot, but the good thing about the germ-killing properties of this setup is that you don't need a lot of chlorine in the room. Any amount of chlorine in the atmosphere will kill the germs. Okay, what do I want next? Thinking we should probably start going towards ranching. So let's do that. I'll research through animal control. That'll give us ranching. It'll give us some of this other agricultural stuff. That way we can start to do some hatch ranching and get away from the meal lice. Okay. So let's talk about the design here. First of all, I'm going to have to build... I don't need another water lock down here. So down here I'm just going to build a manual airlock. I'm going to close this in. Okay, and then I can dig a tunnel over here to provide access to what's beyond there, so that we can still get in there. So this area is going to have to be vacuumed out the hard way, since it's already got gas in it. You know, the other thing that you could do is you could fill up the entire room with tiles, and then create your water seal, and then go in and dig it out, kind of like I did here. But I think in this case we'll do it the other way, and then that way everybody will be able to see both ways that this works. I'm going to leave this here for now because that makes the space smaller and it'll be easier to clean it out. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a gas vent out here. Run that there. We'll run the power through the floor. I'm not going to connect it yet. And then this is going to help us create our vacuum in here. And then when that's all vacuumed out, I'll put a ladder in the back of this room to the second level, and we'll lock this door so that you can only go in and out through the airlock. All right, let's see what we've got here. Any cooks? I do have a cook, but she's a loud sleeper, which I really don't want. So, no thank you. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to put in up here is a sink, because we're going to be handling polluted dirt and polluted water in here, and I don't want any germs to get out of that room. Okay, so we'll put in a sink. And then uh-oh. Why? The only way I'm going to get her out of there is to make her fall so she can get over to the ladder. Okay. And then I'm going to have a liquid, at least one liquid reservoir. Let me put in my sieve. The output I want coming that way. Okay, so I'll put 2 tanks there, and then we'll put some more tanks and stuff down there. Okay, so I'm going to lock this door so nobody goes in. And then I'm going to turn on the power. And we'll start vacuuming out that room. And that'll take a while. Okay. Yeah, and I think I'll put my storage bin there for the bleach stone. So what's going to happen is we're going to have some toilets set up, right? So there's going to be polluted water coming out. The polluted water will come in here. And it will go into the sieve, where it will get turned into clean water with germs. And then it'll go into that tank, and then it'll come out of there and into this tank. And then it'll come out of here as clean water. It'll go into that sink. This sink will also connect to the polluted water. Okay, and then it'll come out of here as clean water with germs in it. At least until we get the chlorine in. Now you can use germy water for sinks and toilets and showers, and the germs won't transfer onto the dupes for some reason. Some people see that as a bug or an exploit. Others see it as a feature, but however you want to think of it, you can put germy, clean, non-polluted germy water into the toilets and nothing will happen. We're still going to put chlorine in here so that we can kill the germs, so that that clean water stored in these tanks will actually be usable for something other than the toilets. Because the sinks and toilets are water positive, meaning that more water comes out than goes in, because the dupes are water producers, right? And when they go to the restroom, more polluted water comes out than the amount of clean water that goes in to the toilets. And so over time, water will accumulate in these tanks, and eventually we'll have to do something else with it. Otherwise, the whole system will back up. Okay. I'm going to put the bleach stone in as kind of a last step. Okay, now the other thing that I want is, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that'll be down here. Over here, I'm going to put a polluted water drop-off point where the dupes can come and they can empty, or maybe I should put it down here. Yeah, you know, I'll put it in here in the chlorine room. No, I think I do want it out here. That way they don't have to go in there in order to do that. So that way when they pick up bottles of polluted water, like over here, they can dump it off here. It'll get pumped up into this system. Okay, so let's plumb that as well. So for that, we'll eventually want it to bridge into the sieve. All right, and then we can run that pipe all the way down here. I won't bother walling that in yet. And we'll just put a little space here where we can put a liquid pump. Let's get rid of that little stub there. Sweep that out. And then we'll have a bottle emptier right there. So this will be intake for polluted water, in case it comes from somewhere other than the toilets. Okay, we've almost got this completely vacuumed out. It'll be done soon. Okay, and we can grab some bleach stone soon. We should probably have a sink coming out of here too, actually. Okay, I'm going to pause for a minute and I'll come back when that vacuum is done. Okay, that about 5 seconds after I said that, the vacuum was created. All right, so now I'm going to build a ladder the rest of the way down here. Let's go buildings. I'm going to remove these tiles. And then actually what I want to do is, let me just check here. Okay. And then I can delete all of this. Build that ladder the rest of the way. And then I'm actually going to replace all this with mesh tiles. Yeah, I'll do mesh tiles. You could do airflow tiles too, but I'll do mesh tiles. That way gas or fluids will be able to pass through. Okay, now this area down here is for additional pipes or additional storage tanks, reservoirs if we need it. In fact, I think one thing that would probably be a good idea It might be a good idea to have the polluted water go into a reservoir first. So let's do that. No, this is no good. Let's get rid of that bridge. I don't like where that bridge is. We're going to have water coming in from two opposing directions. Okay, here's what I can do. I'll bring this one down here. And then I'll have this one bridge onto it like that. Okay, so this way the polluted water will go into a reservoir first, and then it'll go up into the sieve. That way, if we, for some reason, if we bring in polluted water faster than the sieve can handle it, the pipes won't back up. And it'll also give more time to kill germs while the water is sitting in that tank. Okay, we can get rid of all this, including the gas vent. Okay, and then we just need to power up the sieve. Okay, and then another thing I'm going to need is a little bit of storage for the polluted dirt that's going to come out of the sieve. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of water in the bottom there, and that way the polluted dirt won't off-gas. And I want to start getting all that junk picked up. Okay, so organic, that's going to be for polluted dirt. And here we want fresh water. And I think just 1 or 2 bottles of water in there will do the trick. Okay, and we can get rid of that gas pump. Oh, crud. Now I have polluted oxygen in here. And where did that water come from? Ah, son of a gun. Now I'm going to have to pump it out again. Never fails. Making a vacuum has got to be one of the most difficult things to do in this game. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. Now I got to pump all the polluted oxygen out of here. I mean, I think there's always going to be a little bit, I suppose, because it's going to drop out of here and then it's going to wait for somebody to pick it up, at least until I have, you know, some automated solution for that. I suppose that's unavoidable, but let's try to start with a clean slate. Alright, so I'm going to pump all that polluted oxygen out. There's not much, so it shouldn't take long. I think I've got enough water there to prevent it from off-gassing anymore. Okay, so let me finish cleaning this out. I'll be right back. Okay, as I'm waiting for this to get vacuumed out, we're getting closer. I've noticed that I've got high stress. Alright, Chuck D is stressed because of being sopping wet from passing in and out of this water lock so many times. And I suspect the rest of them are suffering from a similar condition. So I need to build a little room for them to de-stress. Alright, so what we'll do is I will put in a few massage tables. Right there. We put in some decor. And at least on a temporary basis until I can do things to prevent their stress from coming on in the first place, this will help reduce their stress. They can get on the massage table for a few minutes and their stress level will go down. And we need to do that before Chuck D gets totally out of hand. So yeah, you know, let's cancel. I'll just cancel all these sweep commands and stuff in there so that they don't have to go in anymore. I don't know if any of this stuff is going to grow in here. I don't think it is. Okay. So you can see they're pretty happy about this. And so you can set the break time policy on these. So by default, they'll go to the table when their stress goes over 50% and they'll stay on there until it goes down to 0. For now, I'm going to set the lower end to 25% because I don't want them to be on there for too long because we have a lot of work to do. What is damaged? Ooh, overloading. Okay. Yeah, I'm still only making 600 watts. Well, I'm making 1,000 watts, but I don't have a transformer or anything to limit. Where the heck is all this water coming from? There must be ice somewhere. Alright, well, I'm just going to have to take the damage for now. This really needs to be moved. Yeah, we'll have to redo power very soon. Turning off this pump, of course, will also help a lot. Let me hook up an automation switch so I can turn it on and off. Yeah, we're almost there on vacuuming this room out. Okay, so that's a massage clinic. What do they get for it? Oh, okay. They get a stress relief bonus by having that in a massage clinic. This should be cleaned out so that we keep the decor up. Okay, we're in microgram territory, which means that this vacuum should disappear fairly quickly. Okay, can we do more research? Yeah, I need a power transformer. Let's get that done. Alright, and you know what, let's cancel that for now. That's using up a lot of electricity. Okay, let me finish up this vacuum. I'll be right back. Okay, the room is finally vacuumed out. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to set this to take... Okay, I can't take bleach stone yet, but I'll set the capacity to 200 kilograms maximum. And then we'll dig up... Well, these two won't even give me 100 kilograms. What is this? Granite. Let's build a granite tile right there. Okay, so now there's some bleach stone that we can pick up. Put that there, give this a high priority. And we wait for somebody to pick it up and carry it over there. Oh, crud, it fell down. Okay, Missy's going to get it. There we go. Alright, and let's see what happens when she drops off the bleach stone. There we go. We now have a chlorine room. Okay, and any polluted water will have its germs quickly eliminated. Okay, so let's start collecting the polluted water. We'll give that a high priority as well, and hopefully they'll pick up these jugs and take them over there. And then we can see the cleaning stage, or the cleaning system at work. Looks like it's bedtime. I'm gonna have to wait a bit. Oh, I set up a microbe musher here to make lice loaf. I was doing that while I was waiting for the room to get cleaned up. Okay, so now I'm going to clear this, and that'll drop the bleach stone out. I don't know if it off-gasses any faster if it's on the ground. It's got no power. This took a lot longer than I was hoping it would. But this will serve us throughout the game. Okay, so polluted water goes into the temporary storage tank, up into the sieve. The sieve cleans it out, turns it into regular water. And then you can see on the tank that that water contains germs. Now, the number of germs is kind of acting crazily right now because we're continuing to add to it. Once that water stops flowing, you can see that the quantity of germs is falling extremely rapidly. And that's the result of the chlorine environment in there. So actually, you know what, I'm going to set this, I'll just set that to collect bleach stone from anywhere we happen to dig it up. And Marie's got food poisoning. Wonderful. Let's see. Food poisoning, she'll get better in 1.2 cycles. I don't want to add any skills yet, especially with their stress levels the way that they are right now. Okay. See, look at the germs. Falling and falling very quickly, and they'll go down to 0 before you know it. And then we'll have clean, safe water that we can use. We could drink it if we wanted to. But the dupes don't actually drink water. Okay. Look at my gas overlay. Okay. See, now I'm getting a little bit of polluted oxygen mixed in there. So what I'm going to have to do is I need to try to make sure that my chlorine pressure is high enough that the polluted oxygen doesn't start to cover up the tanks. Otherwise my chlorine cleansing won't work. Maybe I'll want to move the tanks down to the bottom since the polluted oxygen tends to stay at the top. What I should have done is put the sieve outside of this room. That would have been the smart play. I'll have to do that in the next playthrough. Leave the sieve outside. Okay, but we've got more bleach stone that we can pick up. That might not be enough pressure. I might need to pump the chlorine out of here. The other thing is that on this map that has rust, we can use a rust deoxidizer to make oxygen, and that makes chlorine as a byproduct. So we could also pump that chlorine into there. Let's see. Still no super duper hard digging skills. So we're still waiting on that before we're going to be able to break open that polluted water vent. But for now, we've got a good system in place to upgrade our bathroom, upgrade our latrine into a washroom. The latrine gives us +1 morale. The washroom will give us +2. And every little bit's going to help because we're playing on a little bit higher difficulty than I was last time. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.